Whew. All right, everybody, good morning. Let's do this. Why is mindfulness so important? Why is it important to be mindful? I don't know, we hear a lot that it's very important to be mindful. Go on some retreats, it's all about being mindful. Of course, it has lots of different names, this thing, mindfulness. You can also just call it, I think, I would prefer to call it just being here. Being here. Being in reality. Here. But basically, it's important because if you're not here, then where the hell are you? And who's here? Who's here? If I'm not here, who's here instead of me? You know what I mean? Who's living my life? Some crap. Some people would say, the past. Even the future can be here, living my life instead of me. Like, you're conditioning. That's another good word. What the heck does that mean? Conditioning. Well, to be conditioned means you're shaped, you are taught patterns, reactions, stuff, and then you act on that, just that, and you're not friggin' here. And this other thing that like comes to live your life when you're not around doesn't really do such a good job. Let's put it that way. Because all it cares about is how you look. If you've achieved such and such. Nonsense, mostly. Or it's here just thinking about what you didn't achieve. Or even what you did achieve. Oh, wasn't that great? But that only lasts like, a couple hours. Or a week or whatever. Who cares? It has no idea what it's doing. And it also is very like this. So it's super dependent on what it feels like it's being hurt by, or what it needs to do to be worth anything. Over and over. Constantly. That's what it does. Loves to do that. So, basically, that's why it's important. Because the lunatic that comes and inhabits you when you're not here is an unhappy thing. And if it's not unhappy now, it's gonna be unhappy soon, when everything falls apart that it's like dependent upon. That's just one way of putting it. But I think a lot of the time we run around, especially before we know what the hell mindfulness even is, like how simple it is actually. We think that it's something you do when you're on a retreat somewhere, or when you're sitting with your legs like crossed, or with your friggin' eyes closed, like, let's do this. And we have no idea what the state actually is, what it means. And that's mainly because we have experienced it, very likely, but we don't bring any attention to that, because for us, when we're acting out of the other thing, it's meaningless. It's almost worthless. This moment that we had where we were actually paying attention and we were actually like here, it flies by. And I remember now doing this over and over, the thousands of times that I have done this, where I actually did have a moment where I was here and present, where I wasn't overcome by whatever stuff in my past or fantasies of the future. These moments exist, and often, but then we ignore them and forget them. It's hilarious. And then we're like, what's mindfulness? What is it? And why is it so important? And we don't remember, oh man, when I was just standing on that mountain there, looking at the beautiful valley or something, or staring at the tree oh my God. We don't realize that was it. And why was I so peaceful? Why did I have such a good feeling when I was on that mountain there? I'd be like, oh, I don't know, because mountains are beautiful, it's nice, it's great, wonderful. We don't realize that it was because we were there. Something forced us to actually be here. So, the thing that comes up in here when we're not here doesn't like to think about being here because it's boring and it's threatening and it wouldn't be able to do its drama if we were actually here. So of course you don't want to think about that moment that you had where your mind was clear or whatever and you were at peace. I mean, why you want to think about that? You got things to worry about, you know what I mean? You got stuff to lament, things to fantasize about. We need to complain. Or we can turn mindfulness into this amazing thing that is to be achieved at some point, probably by going on some retreat, something necessary. Go to this class, go to mindfulness class, friggin', go to yoga every week so that we can achieve this. And that's another thing, maybe if I practice this mindfulness stuff for 10 years, I will really, be mindful. I'll be really good at meditating. I'll be a master mindfulnesser. Which is, of course, funny, too. Just another fantasy. Which I know I've had for sure. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to reach this point where I'm just, so clear. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be just perfect. But yeah, main thing is, if you're not being mindful or whatever you want to call it, if you're not here, you're not here. You are absent, and something else is here, running your freaking life, living your life. You're missing out on your entire life because you're not freaking here. That's how important it is. So very. You could say it's the only important thing. It's the only thing that allows you to actually live your life, to be here. Yeah, I could go on and on, and I'm sure I will in later vids, but that's it for now. Have a good day.